Hello. What's Daf 6? Daf 6?
Yes,
Okay. Well, Ernie, you have to let me know when you get the renewed credit card.
I will. Let's start from the Mishnah on Hey Amid Bays. That's where we left off. 5b on the bottom.
Yeah. I haven't been able to look at any of it. Right here at the bottom. Yeah.
Al pishnayim edim o shlosha edim yumasames. You either 2 or 3 edim is what you need to convict somebody to the death penalty. And the Mishnah wants to know, understand, if all you need is 2, what do you have to tell me 3? I mean, if it works with 2, it certainly works with 3. 3 edim can come and be and say that the 2 edim were with us in Disneyland. Let's say there were 3 edim that saw Reuven kill Shimon, and 2 edim come and say, no, they were with us in Disneyland. It works. You put them all to death. Even if there were 100 witnesses, 2 witnesses who say all these 100 were with us in Disneyland, all 100 are put to death. With Eidim Zomim, you can't be mazim just one of them. You have to be mazim the 2. You can't make the Eidim Zomim if 2 out of the 3 were with the, there's witnesses that saw them in Disneyland. You got to do all 3 of them. And the same thing, that seems to be a leniency. So Rabbi Kiva,
Ernie, it looks then that it doesn't matter if it's 2 or 3. Because the 3 have to be all considered Zomen and the 2 also. So it's less lenient with 3 than with 2, I think.
No, what it's saying is, when the 3 of them say, we saw Reuven kill Shimon, Monday at 1:00 on Lebrayan 3rd. And 2 Eidim come and say, no, all 3 of you were with us in Disneyland at that time. All 3 are put to death. And the other way, if they only say, oh, we saw 2 of you in Disneyland, then none of them are killed. It's all or none.
Okay.
Rabbi Kiva Amar Lo Bashlishi Lahakel El Hachmar Allah. The 3rd is not to be lenient, it's to be more stringent. You might say that the 3rd witness is extra. We don't even need them. But since he was with them, he's killed with as well. You can't say, oh, they could have convicted that guy without me. He's killed too. Then we say, somebody who schleps along with people that are doing Averas, they're treated like the Avera itself. And we should learn the opposite way. Somebody who schleps along with somebody who's doing a mitzvah, he will get credit as well. And there's another detail. When you have 2 Eidim, Mario, and one of them is a relative or is a puzzle aid, the whole Eidus goes away, Avshlosha. So same thing, it's not we say, if just because one of them is a relative, well, the Eidus could be good with just the 2 of them. No. If one of them is invalidated, the whole thing goes away. The same thing if 100 people came. If only one of them is disqualified because of a family relationship or because they were connected some way, Minan afilu mei Talmud Lomer Eidim. Rabbi Yossi Bamed Varmum Bedin Nefashos. Rabbi Yossi wants to say that this leniency, that we invalidate the testimony if there's a korv or apostle, is only by capital crimes. Aval Bedin Moments this guy Meidus Bashar. As long as you have two Eidim who are kosher, if it's monetary cases, that'll go ahead. But Rabbi Yomer Echad Din Momenes Echad Din Nefashos, it's the same din. We paskin that way. The Amesai Bisman Shehisruben, as long as the Eidim warned the criminals before they did the Avera. Because it shows that they wanted to testify on this case. And therefore the Psulim, the Kshem, it's all like one Eidus. Avol Bisman Shlo Hisruben. But if some of the Eidim were not present at the Hasra, Mayasu Shnei Achin Shero Be'echad Sherakas HaNefesh. Let's say you have two brothers. Hi, Gemma. I know you're outside. I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm teaching Daf Yomi now. And Aliza, I'm teaching Daf Yomi now. Bye.
Okay, bye.
So let's say you have two brothers and they witness a murder. And there just happens to be they're not coming to testify. The other ones that are there are not disqualified because these two brothers happened to be there and saw what happened. Because if they were not involved in the Hasra, then the Eidus does not have to be disqualified. The multiple Eidim, we said if there were 100, it's all one testimony as long as they gave the testimony within the time that it takes to say Shalom Aleichem Rebbe. Then they're considered one group of Eidos. The amount of time is the amount of time that it says Shalom Aleichem Rebbe. How are you going to do that with 100? We let each one speak, and then Toch Kedei Dibur the other one speaks. Rabbi Kiva Omer Lo Ba Shlishi, the Shlishi doesn't come to be lenient, but to be mach. Omer Rav Papa Labai, Elameata Harug Yatzil. Yaakov, I will eat after I teach Daf Yomi.
Okay, it's done.
Elameata Harug Yatzil. The one who was killed by the murderer should be able to save the murderer, because he's a party and he's pasul edus because he's a nogeh b'davar. Every edus for capital crime should be pasul. So the Gemara says he didn't see kishahargo me'acharav. He was killed from behind. He doesn't know who killed him. So then it says near Bayatzil. If somebody was homosexually assaulted, so he also is involved in the edus. Why shouldn't it possible? Because of korv leidus. More answers because sharavu macharv. He doesn't know who did it because they committed the act from behind. So hoyreg v'ravei yatzilu. They themselves, the one who's killed and the one who was assaulted, should save because they know what happened. Ishtik. So Abai didn't have an answer. He also kamei Rava, but when Rav Papa came to Rava, Amar Lei, it says Al Pishnai made him Yakum Dovar. The Makami Dovar cause of Dovar. Only the people that are, it's only Eidim that we say that there's a psul if they're relatives or Nogeh B'Dovar, but not the people involved in the crime. On Rav Yossi Bamed Var Mamorim, he wanted to say that in monetary cases, even if other Eidim are found to be related, as long as you have two kosher Eidim, it works. And we said the case of Mayasu Shnei Achim. two brothers happen to witness a murder. What do we say? So, Hechi Arminalu, Amrav Hachi Arminalu, Lemechzi Asisi or Lasudi Asisi? Are you coming to view the court proceedings or coming to testify? Armi Lasudi, or if they come, they're coming to testify. So then, Nimsa Echad Mem Karvu Postle, they do some betelo. If they participate in the Eidos, both of them, then the Eidos goes away. But if they only came to be like spectators, it never doesn't ruin it. They can come to Bezdin and be spectators, and the other Eidim will adjudicate the case. Itmar, Amr Shmuel, Halach Rabbi Yossi. But Rav Nachman Amar Halach Rabbi, and we paskin like Rabbi. Mishnah. Hayu Shnaim Roino So Mechalon Zeh. Two witnesses view third and Labrea from one window. Ushnaim Roino So Mechalon Zeh. And two witnesses are in another building from another window. The Echad Masrabo Be'emtzo. And there's a third party who they aid him here, or there's a guy who's giving Ruvain, the murderer, Hasra, warning. Now, Bisman Shemikzoso, Roin Elu es Elu. So, if the Eidim can see each other, Hare Elu Eidus Achas, then it's considered one Eidus. If they can't see each other in love, Hare Elu Shtei Eduyos. Lefichach im nimtzes achad mem zomemes, who vehei nerogin, v'ashniya ptura. If they're considered two different groups of Eidim, could be a case where a person, one Eidim say, we saw Reuven kill Shimon. And another guy comes and say, no, they were with us in Disneyland. But then you have the other Eidim who actually saw Reuven kill Shimon, and there is no Zomimim for them. So the Eidim Zomimim are killed. The other guy is also, the murderer is killed, and they are potter. Rabbi Yossi Omer lo olam ein narogin ad shiyu shnei eid of masrin bo. Both sets of Eidim, and every sets of Eid has to give a warning, because al pishnai Eidim, that in the mouth of the Eidim, they themselves have to do asro. You can't rely on a third party. Davar acher al pishnai Eidim, lotei sanedrin shomas mepi haturgemin. The court has to hear directly from the Eidim, and the judges have to understand their language. They can't hear it through a translator. One aid sees an event, not with the other aid, and he comes and testifies, and the other aid also was by himself and testifies. We don't accept that. My echad, ilay my eid echad mamish. We can't just mean there's only one aid, because Maresha Shamin law Pishnai made him. Elamai echad means he's by himself. And then we don't kill based on that. Tanya Namachi, lo yumas apid echad, lahavi shnaim sheroy moso. You need two witnesses. Echad bechalon zev, echad bechalon zev. They don't have to be together. Or if you had one from one window, one with the other window, but they can't see each other, name it starfin. You can't add those two together. You would not kill the criminal. Let's say each one saw Reuven kill, but not at the same time. Even they stood b'chalon echad, like one was looking, and then the other stuck his head, but not at the same time. Aim it starfin. Hashta. When each aide was looking through a window, they didn't see each other, but they both saw Reuven kill Shimon at the same time. Each one saw the full act, and you told me Armet Lomit Starfi. You still don't join them two. Certainly in a case where they saw them sequentially. The high chazi palgamaisa. One of them saw the first half of the murder. The high chazi palg, and the other one saw the half. Boy, there's no shaila that they shouldn't be stars. Amr lei lo nitzrach ela boil erva. Well, let's say a man is having sexual relations with a woman who's an Eishes Ish. Well, one aide could see them having sex, and the other man could see them having. You might think that would join, but we say no. Even though they both saw an act, they have to see it together. Amar Rava, imayu roinas masra. If they saw the third party giving hasra, or a masra roanosa, or the one who's giving hasra sees them, it's tarfin. Amar Rava masra sha'amru afilu mipiatzbo. Even if the victim himself gives the warning, vafilu mipiashet. Even if they hear a demon saying the hasra, it doesn't have to be a certain person, it could be anybody. Amar Rav Nachman, edus miyuchedes, that each aid saw it by themselves, it's not good for capital crimes, but it's good for monetary crimes. Lo yumasal pi echad. You can't kill. Masker of Zutra, Elameato Bedin Nefoshos Tatsil. We should say that if we say that Edus Miuchedes works, and there was Hazama for only part of the Edus should go away. But we've already learned not like that. Alama Tnan, Hu Vehain Nerogin. We have a case where the two Edim Zomamin are killed and the murderer. So that's a kasha on the way on Rav Nachman. Rav Yossi Oimer, that the Edim themselves have to give us straw. Rav Yossi Svara, Vatnan Rav Yossi Oimer Hasone, somebody who ate somebody, even though there was no asra, Nera, he's put to death. He's considered as if he was given asra. So you see, not everybody has to have asra. Or Malay Hahu is Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda. The Tanya Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Omer Chaver and Talmud Chacham who knows the halacha saying tzarich asra. Lefi shlo nidra asra lekadei lavchin ben shogig lemezi. Hasra is so that people know the difference between shogig and umezid. Talmud Chacham doesn't need it. They have to understand the language of the Edim. There were people who spoke a foreign language that came in front of Rava. Uki Rava Turgman now. Rava asked for a translator. Rava made Aviyada. He understood their language. Madav Amri. But Vahuduri, he couldn't speak their language, Hushlaviyad, but that's okay. As long as they can hear the Edim, that's fine. Okay. Tomorrow, let's also, I think people have dinners. I think it's probably good to do it at 5 o'clock. That way it can get out of people's way.
Okay.
Have a good Yom Tov.
You too.